Hello, and welcome to Wyverns and Weirdos Fathomless, D&D Podcast set in the world of Fierlor. I'm your Dungeon Master, Darby, and joining me as always are Eddie, playing 𝗖𝗔𝗦𝗧, Mitch, playing 𝗖𝗔𝗦𝗧, Laura, playing 𝗔𝗦𝗧, Jake, playing the Fishman, Joe, playing Alton, Emily, playing 𝗖𝗔𝗦𝗧, and Zoe, playing 𝗔𝗲𝗏. Let's jump into it. So, where we last left off, the crew of the Polaris spent their first day in the city. So they were able to go do what they needed to in 𝗖𝗔𝗦𝗧, capital of 𝗖𝗔𝗦𝗧, and by default the entire 𝗖𝗔𝗏 Isles. Among the tasks completed, 𝗖𝗔𝗦𝗧 went to report to the heads of the Hydra. Alton went to see an old friend, and 𝗖𝗏𝗧 and the Fishman showed 𝗔𝗏 around the city before most of the party ended up meeting back at a tavern to discuss some things with 𝗖𝗏𝗧 and 𝗔𝗏𝗏 regarding the history and the possible whereabouts of Janus, their lost comrade. During this time, though, they heard the sound of a gunshot outside as Alton's friend apologized to them. I'm just seeing the chat. Have I seen Conrad? Have I said Conrad, or is someone speculating?
When you said comrade, it sounded like comrade.
There we go.
And I was like,
Okay. So, before we started tonight, we rolled up initiative. However, we're going to jump back a few seconds as there is a quick surprise round from Alton's assailant, and as you failed your, actually no, that would have been the surprise round, the fairy fire. So we have one round before people notice. Alton, you haven't seen where this magic has come from. You just know that you are lit up like a Christmas tree.
And my old buddy, old pal, just apologized for someone made it is on the rooftops with a rifle. So
yes, well, let's see if you spot that now or in a moment. So roll me a perception check.
Okay.
It's just, bit of wibbly-wobbly, timey stuff, but...
yeah, it seems like it.
Yes. Yeah.
I rolled a nat 20.
You spot this figure lining up a shot. Is there anything you would like to do with your turn before they inevitably shoot you?
Yeah, so I'm just gonna turn to 𝗔𝗏𝗏 and just be like, seriously? Who is this? What, the guard? What? Fucking coward. And he is going to duck down and pretty much dive onto 𝗔𝗏𝗏.
Okay.
So I'm getting out of the way of a shot, and I am, I guess, grappling him.
Yeah, so you're... So this would be an athletics check on your part,
Not a good move.
as opposed to either strength or dexterity from Lear.
So I rolled a 3, so that makes it a 1.
So you launch yourself at Leo, who just stands his ground with a dirty 20, and you effectively bounce off of him, and I won't be cruel. I won't be cruel. You're not prone. Actually, I'll let you choose.
Yeah.
I'll let you choose, because there are pros and cons to being prone. I will tell you that. But do you think that bouncing off of Leo would knock Alton prone? Would it knock him flat on his ass?
I mean, probably, because he was trying to get down on the ground to get out of range, like, of the way of
Yeah.
being shot at. So, yeah, I guess he's prone.
Okay. So the good news is, as we get, because that grapple was your action, although you do have movement, you could use your movement to get up if you want after being knocked down. But it's up to you.
He's not going to get up. He's going to
Okay.
crawl, see if he can crawl further into the house. And also, like, get out a dagger.
Unfortunately, Lou is in the way. It's not really possible, but it's a fairly narrow doorway. But you can get out a dagger.
Yeah, he's just going to get out a dagger then.
Okay. Now, here's the fortunate thing for you. You're prone, which for ranged attacks grants disadvantage. For prone attacks against, or range attacks against prone target. So this is just going to be a flat roll, because Verify gives him advantage, the fact that you're prone gives disadvantage. Nice flat roll for you. And let us go with the, as it's called, death shot. And that's an 18 to hit.
That will hit, yes.
So that will deal. Oh, this is going slow because I turned hardware acceleration off because I was having difficulty before, so I'm going to wait for that to roll and roll the. So you take 6 points of piercing damage. And let's see, 13 points of necrotic damage. Additionally, your hit points maximum is reduced by an amount equal to the necrotic damage taken, so 13.
Ooh. Okay. Yeah, I mean, Alton was going to, like, cry out in pain.
Alright, that's his go, and that's the point where you hear inside the tavern across the road this gunshot go off. And actually, yeah, so we'll jump back to the top of initiative. Doesn't affect too much. So Cerise.
So, Cerise, hearing a noise, does leap to her feet, and anybody who's looking at her would notice she isn't actually wearing her weapons. Not that you can see, but she puts a hand out and her sword appears in her hand. And she's going to roll out the front door and just have a little cheeky look at what's going on.
Okay,
If you can get to the door.
think to the door. 20 if you want to just be right outside the door. And you see Alton on the ground. Probably.
He turns back to the table and says, "It's one of yours." And that's it.
Alright. Next, Alton.
Alright, me again. Okay. So...
And then big man on deck.
He's just gonna swear again and then and just try to stab Aaliyah in the ankles.
Okay. Roll to hit.
That's a dirty 20 to hit.
Yeah, that'll hit. Doesn't have great AC.
So that's 8 points of damage.
Alright. That's a hefty amount of damage, but he's still standing.
Gosh, what to do? Okay. So I'm blocked in the doorway. Alright, okay. I will use half of my movement to stand. And then he'll just turn to look up at the person on the rooftop and just kind of hold his arms out and be like, all right, you want to try again? That one didn't seem to connect very well. Why don't you come down here and I can show you how to shoot properly?
I'll get down to you. Anything else you're doing?
And then he's gonna run around the side of the building if possible.
Okay. What, in order to try to get cover?
Yeah.
15, that's about where you can get just using what remains of your movement. You haven't as an action, because you attack. Alright, Fishman.
Is Fairy Fire a concentration spell?
It is.
So did the one casting get stabbed?
No.
Ah, never mind then. So Fishman, I guess, was directed by Captain Thunderbolt, or Cerise now, I guess, as our characters now know that. He'll maybe have a look at where Cerise was directing them. So would he notice Alton? I mean, he could probably put together it's him as well.
Looking at where the minis are, you do have a direct line of sight through the doorway to where Alton is currently standing.
And can Fishman see where they're gesturing to? Alton, that is?
It seems to be approximately somewhere on top of the building that you are in.
On top of the building we're in.
Yes.
Fishman's gonna walk outside and see if he can see what the go is. Because you probably can't see the guy who was tackled to the ground. And in a building. So
Dash outside.
maybe not necessarily dash, but just kind of walk out nonchalantly and just kind of see what the hell is going on the roof.
20 feet of movement to get outside.
Yeah. Can you see?
You can see the streets. You would probably have to use... What's your movement speed?
My movement speed is 30 feet.
Okay, so if you stepped out about 10 feet more into the street to kind of be able to see up on top of the building, you probably would be able to make out the figure on the roof.
How far?
So they are probably about 20 feet up. I'm going to put them on this doorway just for the sake of simplicity, but yeah, they are about 20 feet up.
20 feet up. Double check the spell. Blah, blah, blah. Range is stealth, however, it reaches 60 feet. Excellent. Fishman's gonna say, I believe Alton wants them to come down. I think I might be able to help with that. And he'd like to cast Gust of Wind, please.
Alright.
Straight at the guy.
Yeah. This is a saving throw, I take it?
It is a DC, hang on. It's a strength saving throw, so only a strength 11.
Okay. That's a 19.
Oofed. Well, then I believe it doesn't do anything. However, if he were to approach me, it's twice as hard. But only in that line. However, did he have any extinguishables on him or anything like that? Or a lantern or...
He did not.
Oh, that's all good. That's it for that one. However, he will then use Planar Warrior feat to basically mark him for his next attack. And that's a bonus action. And then I guess he'll turn towards the other party members and be like, it appears we have an attacker attacking Alton on the roof. Any of you get up there? That's basically all he can do.
Alright. So, let's see. Alton, it is your assailant's go again. As he's going to shoot at you again. This time it's a dirty 20.
Yeah, that'll hit.
For a little luck. Oh, no. Not as lucky for you. 8 points of piercing damage. And here's where it could go bad. 15 points of necrotic. And again, point maximum reduced by 15. But that is his go. Alright. And next is Loren.
Is there like a window through which all this action can be seen, or is it just the doorway?
Window.
Okay.
Gives a pretty straight line of sight to Alton, though, in this.
Okay. She is going to walk towards the door, just behind Cerise. Just a casual stroll. Gonna kind of peer over Cerise's shoulder. Gonna go, Captain, is this an us issue?
Doesn't seem so yet.
Alright. And then, does kind of clock the situation a little bit and goes, I'll do him a favor. And as she takes another sip of her, I believe, fantasy lemon lime bitters, she draws up her hand again, and again, Neris, you would see those tattoos start to move in a way that's creepily familiar. As almost casually, she does this little twirl with her finger, although for anyone versed in magic, you can see that there is a forced ease to this. She is trying to make it look easy. And Darby, is it windy outside? As a bonus action, the wind is now blowing back towards the sniper. The speed of it doesn't change, and I don't think Loren's encountered many snipers with guns, but she's probably encountered a couple with arrows, and she knows that wind is pretty important to being able to hit your target. So she's changing the direction in a 100-foot radius sphere. It's not a spell. This is Heart of the Storm.
Plus, Fishman is also pummeling him on top of that.
Yeah. So she's just casually sipping her drink, twirling her finger, and the wind starts blowing again. It doesn't change direction, but it just starts blowing back towards the sniper. So any shot they try to take is now being pushed back.
Okay, so they would have disadvantage then.
I would assume so.
Alright. Alright.
And then she's gonna just kind of step away from the door and just kind of chill, because it's not line of sight. She just wanted to see. Chill, and then she kind of, with her drink, kind of looks at everyone else around the table and just kind of shrugs. And that's her turn.
Yeah. Alright. Next is Rue.
Alright, so first up, rough voice today, sorry about that. So Rue initially seems to, for anyone who's spent enough time around Rue so far, which isn't many, Rue seems very conflicted, and their right hand seems to do that welling up of blue-white magical energy between the seams of Rue's plating and gloves before Rue seems to sort of focus and dissipate it. And he nods briefly at Fishman and responds, "I can traverse vertically a little, but I need to get closer. I will investigate." And investigate Rue does. So Rue will run out beyond Fishman to sort of try to scan the area, searching for both Alton and any potential assailants. So a perception check or...
I would say at this point it's easy enough to do that just as you are running. Like, the assailant has pretty much made themselves known. I'll yet to find significant cover from the street view.
Alright, so can I get to Alton? I have 30 feet walking distance.
So you've already used 25 to get past the Fishman.
Yeah.
So you've got 5 left. Okay.
Yes. And how far away is Alton?
If you dashed.
Dash is a full action though.
Unless you have some sort of spell or something that can cover you an extra 30 feet.
Okay. So Rue looks just double checking. Okay, so Rue looks very sort of hesitant again, and sort of a little bit of like their body jutters a bit, and they then that same magical energy just pulses through the seams of their like armor plating and their gloves, and sort of then whirls up into their hand and then just sort of spreads out all through their body. So Rue's going to cast Expeditious Retreat as a bonus action. And then Rue is going to vault over to where Alton is, using that extra movement. So doubles my movement, I believe.
It allows you to take the dash action as a bonus action, but also you use get to dash as part of casting the spell.
Yes, okay, so I dash over to Alton, and then Rue sort of crouches and I've got an action left. Could I drop an item, because I have a potion, and use an action that's a feature of my paladin class at the same time.
I would allow that because the dropping the potion would count as an interaction.
Okay, so I pretty much, like, Rue just gets there, and they see Alton and is like flash, so they just vault over this giant 7-foot metal figure hunched, and then Rue sort of just crouches down quite unnaturally, and Rue basically throws the potion at Alton and says, "I am Rue Friday of Undetermined." And then Rue holds up the apple, and says, "Be not afraid, I will help." And then Rue sort of, as Alton has said before, this like immense like amount of mist and just seeps out through the mask and all around and just completely surrounds where Alton and Rue is as I use Marine Layer. So that heavily obscures the area around us. And so Rue is crouched down in front of Alton, but like they will be almost, it's heavily obscured.
I think Alton would be like visibly startled by Rue dashing towards him, but then he'd just be like, because like clutching his wounds and is kind of just like, "Oh, Rue, looks like you ran into a little personal disagreement. Thanks for the assist, though."
Drink the potion.
Yeah, might need it.
That's just a regular healing potion, but it's something.
I'm just seeing too how how fairy fire interacts with this heavily obscuring fog. Creatures, the duration, objects, and affected creatures shed dim light. Any attack rolls against an affected creature or object has advantage if the attacker can see it. And the effect, so it comes down to dim light creates a lightly obscured area. I would say, it looks. I'm not sure, and I don't have the time to look into this overly detailed, but I would say that this would prevent the shooter from seeing it.
Yeah, I just checked. Again, apologies for the rough voice today, everyone, but I just checked the visibility rules, and with Marine Layer specifically, all creatures within the area have, like, so the vision is completely blocked, so creatures outside the area cannot see in, so yeah.
I just wanted to check its interaction with fairy fire, but because it's only dim light, it doesn't come through. Alright, so next is 𝗖𝗔𝗦𝗧.
So 𝗖𝗔𝗦𝗧, once he hears the commotion and sees that sees Fishman and Rue both charge out, he turns to 𝗖𝗔𝗧 and Loren, and especially after 𝗖𝗔𝗧 mentioned it was one of his, and was like, and sorry, my brain may not allow me to do the accent. Apologies, so. Apologies that we've had this interruption. Hopefully this won't take long. And he scampers down from the table, and outside. Now, I only have a limited sort of field of vision here. Would 𝗖𝗔𝗦𝗧 be able to see the assassin? Attempting assassin.
We're getting about 10 feet out of the tavern. You'd be able to see up high enough above the tavern to see them, yes.
Okay. And how much of Tibble's movement has he used?
All up to get out and get into a spot where you can see. That would only cost you 15 feet of movement.
Excellent. And how far up is this person?
20 feet.
Okay. Oh, all right. So Tibble, seeing the assumed assailant, he looks up. Actually, he kind of looks around. Would he have seen or be able to see Alton and Rue, or not really because of the spell that was cast?
See the fog engulfing them, but you would not see them.
So he calls across to the fishman. What's happened? Is it Alton?
Not on the roof, but Alton's over there in that fog with Rue.
Has the lad been hurt?
Yes.
By this one. He points up to the assailant.
I believe so. My little wind thing isn't working as well as I thought it would.
Leave it to me. And Tibble begins to climb up the wall. And as he does, he calls up to the assailant. When he reaches that first little steeple of the wall, anyone who is outside and can see enough of him to see him will see that the Starseer Cutlass is starting to shed this bright moonlight. And as he pulls it out, he calls up to the assailant and he's like, I think maybe you and I should have a little chat. And he is going to, using his sword's ability, cast Fairy Fire on the assailant.
Now what DC are we looking at here?
I don't know. The saving 15. Sorry. I'm like, it would be in the item, yeah. Alright. Well, that was his action. For his bonus action, fuck it, he's gonna action search. So Tibble will action surge. His bonus action in the initial.
So, just a clarification, you don't get an extra bonus action for action surging, just an extra action.
No, I know, but I haven't used my bonus action. He is going to use Rally. And call out to Alton as loud as he can, because it's a friendly creature that can see or hear you. Hang in there, kid. It'll be all right. And Alton, you have 9 temporary hit points.
Thank you.
And he uses them. Does he get just another action or movement and action with the action surge?
It's another action. Using the action surge to basically dash up, you can get up and then still have your action.
No, he's going to attempt to cast Fairy Fire again.
Okay. Oh yeah, because you have 3 charges.
3 charges.
Alright. I'm sorry.
That's alright. That's fine. That's the end of his action.
Okay. Neris.
Yeah. So, how close can Neris see where Alton is and see that there's potentially a second aggressor?
You phrased that very well. You can't see Alton, but you can see where he is. Because you can see roughly where he is because of the fog.
Yeah.
And so you want to see if there's a second aggressor? Is that what you?
Yes.
Okay. Roll me a perception check.
And to clarify, is this perception check at disadvantage because my initiative was a natural 1?
Yes.
All right.
Because the house rule we use.
That is a 13.
13. As far as you can tell, there doesn't seem to be any additional combatants.
Fair enough. Let's deal with the man on the roof. So... I guess, to begin with, Neris is going to sort of look out at everything that's happening, initially with a bit of shock and discomfort. And he's going to attempt to sort of retreat into himself until he hears the call out from Cerise, "Hey, it's one of yours." Neris is then instantly going to sort of change, still be very cautious about everything, but is going to now move forward almost at the same time as the captain does. Will sort of just sidle past Loren, look up at the roof, and then look back down at Loren and say, "Don't watch this time." And he's going to look back up, snap his fingers, and cast Hypnotic Pattern.
Okay. This is a charm effect, isn't it?
Is
Now, do you get to choose which creatures are affected by this, or?
It is every creature in the area who sees the pattern.
Okay.
So technically everyone except for Loren, who I specifically said not to watch.
Alright. What saving throw is that?
That is a wisdom saving throw. For reference, if this creature is rolling, the first roll is an 11.
Okay.
Don't know if there's...
Yeah, you just... Even if they get advantage, you just replace the roll, don't you?
I replace... If they have advantage, I think I replace one of the d20s. I believe. I'm not 100% sure.
Okay.
That would be something, yeah.
And then... yeah, so it's an 11, plus their wisdom is 21.
Damn, this man's wise. Okay. I don't have anything to counter that.
Tibble, however, is right there. Rolled a natural 1 and has the wisdom save of -1. So your captain is very hypnotized.
What about Fishman?
As Mitch pointed out, it's probably technically everyone except for Loren who is inside.
Alright, he got a 15. Is that safe?
No.
Cool.
Oh dear.
I can't break concentration as a free action on my turn, can I?
Yeah.
Would I have noticed that it hasn't affected this creature?
Like, you specifically went to a point where you can see them to cast a spell. You would notice that they're not distracted.
Okay. And I would notice that the captain very much is. Perfect. I would assume he would sort of leave it up just for a split second, kind of close his eyes and just squint and rub, and then we'll spell it.
Okay. Lear's turn. He's gonna close his door, go further into his shop. Beyond that, you have no idea because it's behind closed doors. Alright. Cerise, we're back to the top of initiative with you.
Cerise is very amused by everything that is going on and is going wrong. Just aghast at how terribly everyone is doing, and just turns to Loren and is like, how did we nearly get bested by them?
I think they just got very lucky. We might have just been having an off day.
And she is going to a good old witch bolt at the assassin.
Alright. So you step back a bit to be able to set up.
Yeah. And
That is a to hit, is it?
it is indeed a to hit.
Alright.
25 to hit.
25 certainly hits.
And so that is... Can't find my d12s. There they are. Oh. That's 19 points of
That's
lightning damage.
not too bad. And he, cries out as, What an irritating bunch.
They are that. And just winks.
Right. Alton.
Alton will grab the healing potion and just chug it down. Straight away. 2d4 plus 2 for regular. Yeah. So that is 10 points of healing. Nice. So he'll just chug that down, and then I guess he would have heard Tibble yelling other words of encouragement, and so he just kind of like chugs it down, then just like goes back and just like tips his head back again, just like, seriously, the whole crew is here. Great, it just gets worse and worse. Right, Rue, let's see if we can get into this building. There's someone in there as well. Yes, someone we need to take out. And it's better cover, I suppose. Are there any windows or anything here? Or we can skirt further and have a look.
From being in the shop, the windows are pretty on the opposite side of this building.
I want to kill you so much.
You could try the door.
That's true. Is the door in the fog?
It is just within the fog, I believe.
In that case, then Alvin's going to kind of look around, be like, no windows. All right. And then he's just going to duck over to the door and try to... Is there a lock or anything that's visible?
Not from the outside, no. There is no obvious lock here.
Okay. In that case, he's just going to shoot approximately where a lock would be.
Okay.
So that is a 19 to hit.
19 to hit. Okay, I'd say it's a reasonably sturdy door, so that's enough to like shoot the door open, but not enough to like destroy it, basically.
Excellent. In that case, then I'll try the handle, see if I can get it open. and head inside.
So you basically got 15 feet in the door, and you can't currently see Leo. Pretty much just that one. You can see his mini in this shot, but there's only one exit from this room other than the one that you just came in through. And it's that door to his back office.
Yes. Well, if he's got any movement left, he'll start heading towards there.
You have enough movement to get in.
Alright, Leo, have you sought out everyone else as well? Nice try on the assassination too. Great hiding spot.
What I had to.
Yeah, great. Well, I did a shitty job because it's not going to be enough. And I'm going to fire my second shot at him.
Alright, roll.
That's a 13 to hit.
13 will hit. He doesn't have a great AC.
So that is 8 points of damage.
8 points of damage. He's still standing, but he's looking pretty shaky. Between there's blood on his ankle and foot. There's blood. Where was this shot?
Right for the thigh.
Oh, right. Same leg or opposite leg?
Oh, sure, opposite.
Yeah. He's gonna have some difficulty moving. Alright, but that is your go. Next is the Fishman.
So, Fishman will keep up concentration on Gust of Wind. He might get behind, he might take a couple of steps back and get behind, a crate or something if there is anything. If not, he'll just get a better view. Just a better view, and he's gonna try and take a shot. That is a 10 to hit.
10 does not hit.
Excellent. Second attack, sorry. That is a 11 to hit.
Also does not hit.
Excellent. Oh, he doesn't do anything then. Two things as he starts his turn. Does Fairy Fire drop on?
That is a 13, which is more than what he needed.
Also, he needs to roll a strength saving throw.
That's a 4.
Oh, he gets pushed back. Yeah, 15 feet away from Fishman.
Okay, so he's approximately... I'll just put him on this table to represent it. He's not literally right behind you, Lauren. Just higher up. Okay. So his go, he's going to say, I'm Officer Vatrej Crow and the Killane Peacebringer. I am here to take in a wanted fugitive. Please do not assist.
Aye, lad. I'll have you know that there's been some form of misunderstanding. That lad that you have shot in the middle of the street, or attempted to, is under my employ. This can be settled in a completely different manner. Lay down your own weapons, and we'll have a chat, you and I. I'm happy to roll persuasion if you would like.
Yep, roll me a persuasion check.
18.
Yeah. He seems unswayed. Well, if that is what you wish, then there is only one thing to do. He can't see his quarry, but he doesn't know his quarry's moved, so he's going to shoot into the general area. I'm going to roll at disadvantage, but also, Rue, just roll me...
Yep.
general luck. So above a 10, you manage to evade it. Below a 10, you are close enough to where he's expecting his quarry to be.
It's a 10 exactly.
10 exactly. You see a bullet go past your shoulder and hit into the wall behind you.
Oh dear.
She loudly sips of her drink. and then kind of sticks her head out the door at this fella. Sees him get pushed back about 10 feet. Walks out the door to like stand next to Cerise. Again, holding her little fantasy LLB in like a little limp wrist hold. Kind of takes another sip. Gives some to Iric sitting on her shoulder. Good boy. And then she's gonna look at this little sniper man. And she goes, I actually really think you should listen to Captain Clover over here. I don't know if you look like you like your job all that much. You seem a little conflicted, bud. You want to talk about it? And in that last moment, her eyes flash that unnatural seafoam green as the orb on her staff strapped to her back also begins to glow. As this wave of psychic energy shoots at Officer 𝗖𝗔𝗦𝗧. And I would like him to make a wisdom save, please.
So that is 24.
Oh. Okay. Well, that beats a 17. So yeah, he would feel this, like, pressure push around his mind as Loren attempted to cast Aid Insinuation. Instead, he would just shake it off. And as her eyes kind of go back to their normal, still unnatural but not glowing seafoam eyes, but with the pupils a little more cat-like, she just goes, aw, heck.
Then we go to Rue's turn.
So Rue's sort of already crouched down, half crouched down, and they're sort of looking around trying to keep track of both an officer that's just made themselves known and also Alton sort of dashing into this building. And Rue kind of like looks around and then will, I believe it's a bonus action, the arm blade will come out.
Yeah.
And Rue will follow Alton into the room. And then take stock of what's going on. So Alton is shooting this person.
Yes.
Is the person on the ground or are they both standing?
Not at this stage, no. They are standing. They are hobbled, but standing.
Excellent. So Rue is going to stand in between, is going to shove their way in between them.
Alright, make me a... I imagine, well, I don't want to speak for Alton. Alton, are you going to allow that to happen, or are you going to fight against it? You want Rue to put themselves between you and Leo?
I think it would just kind of happen and then Alton would not be happy about it. He wouldn't, like, physically try to stop Rue.
Alright.
Don't resist.
Alright.
Rue sort of spreads both their one long fingered arm and their one bladed arm between the both of them. Like, what are you doing? What is the purpose of this? You should be getting to safety, Alton. And then Rue turns their regard to Han. It's like, what is your part in all of this? My name is Rue Friday. Speak.
Whose finger is relentless? I wanted to get her off my back.
What does this mean, Alton?
It means this man is trying to get me killed. So I'm defending myself.
You should get to safety. You look injured. And then Rue's going to reach out with her clawed hand and grab the closest part of Alton, would be the wrist or just the shoulder, and he's going to pump 15 points of lay on hands.
Alton just kind of grab the arm that grabs him as well and try to push it off.
Yeah. So that's Rue's going to Tibble.
So Tibble, watching the shot fly past him, This look passes over him. Very serious, almost darkness. Darkness if darkness was, I don't know, a grayscale. Have it your way then. And he's going to go up and attack with the Starseer Cutlass. Excellent. So the first hit is a 26.
26 certainly hits.
Oh, and that's maximum damage, so that's 15 points of damage. And the second hit. Okay. So that is a 25 to hit. And that is a beautiful 12 points of damage.
Fairy Fire's gone. That second attack, he rolled a grand total of 5 on his concentration check, so that got Fairy Fire gone.
Can I make one of those attacks use a superiority dice to make it a distracting strike?
I'll allow it.
Oh, actually, we'll make it a trip attack.
Yeah, I'll allow that.
So that's an additional 8 points of damage because of the superiority die. And the assailant has to make a DC 15 strength saving throw, please.
He is not great at those. That is a grand total of 7.
Cool. He is knocked prone, and Tibble, in his grand height of 1 foot, stands over the prone man and presses the Starseer Cutlass to his neck. And I think it's time for you to stand down and for us to have a little chat. Hey?
He seems pretty set in his convictions. Yeah, he doesn't seem to be swayed at this stage. It is Neris's turn.
Let's little pebble in my shoe about that. Well, Neris, first of all, is looking incredibly annoyed at the fact that his spell hasn't worked. A little bit more annoyed and mildly concerned when Loren comes out and casts another spell. But just so incredibly relieved when that one too fails. He's just going to sort of look up. He can't really see what's going on up there. Neris is going to look at everyone else, sort of listen to what's going on, not hearing any signs of combat. He's going to go inside, back into the tavern, and begin casting a spell, but holding it. What he's waiting for is a cry of pain from the captain, or any sort of indication that communication has not gone well. And if that happens, Neris is going to vortex warp ham on top of that man. Neris is essentially going to do as described before. Will hold vortex warp. If it seems like there is another attack directed at the captain, Neris is going to cast vortex warp on Ham. Otherwise, he's just going to start buttering Ham up and saying, "You know all those plates that you've eaten on the ship? There's a very large plate upstairs, and do you want to eat that one? I'd send you to eat that plate upstairs. Are you ready?" And that's what he's doing with his turn, holding vortex warp.
Is Liu's turn? Let me go. Alright, I don't know what it's like when they get you and they hunt you down and they have you by the throat. Well, I guess now you do, but
I don't know. Could you elucidate?
I was in a desperate situation that seemed the best way to get out of it.
And what does that mean for Alton?
Alton's resourceful. I'm sure he can manage to get out of it himself.
And that's about all he's going to do on his turn. He's cornered. Cerise.
Therese is just going to continue to watch now.
Alright. Alton.
Well, if you have any damn loyalty for the lakes, then you should have just stayed and dealt with it.
The lakes are dead, Alton. I've been hunted out of existence or done their best to go legit.
So I just decided all the small fries to be fucking shot down by guards? By a sniper?
Hey, I didn't make that call.
Yeah, fair. I really should have known, because you seem like a nice person, and that is always a red flag. You can never trust people who seem nice. But you know what? Fine. I'll let you live this once, because everyone seems to be here, and murder is generally frowned upon, so enjoy your life. I'll see if I can get out of this one. And he kind of just like, it glares at him and then glares at Rue for a moment and just kind of turns its back and leaves the room and we start to head for the front door. He's just going to have a look outside just to see what's going on.
Roll me a perception check to see if you'd be able to make out where he is.
That's a 13.
13. You can't see him, but you can barely make out Tibble as he stands over him.
Alton just kind of like double takes. What's going on? Tibble's fine. He's gonna leave the house, but he's just gonna kind of take a moment to think about what to do. Probably thinking back at his prior comment is looking at Tibble with distrust and just kind of assess the situation. I can still hold a dodge action. Someone shoots at him or attacks him.
Alright. Fishman.
Right, he probably can't see anyone at the moment, so he'll probably drop Gust of Wind. He's going to Misty Step his way up.
Yep, that'll do it. He sees Tibble over the assailants.
He looks up at Fishman and down at the assailant, and he's like, well, you had your chance. And he gives a nod to Fishman.
So it's nothing too cool, but he will take out his whacking stick, and he will hold it. He'll tower over him and give him a bit of a smirk and say, family first, and then he will hopefully do a non-lethal blow. Okay, yeah, cool. 17 to hit.
17 will hit.
Yeah, cool. So that's now force damage due to Planar Warrior. So that's an additional 5 non-lethal.
Disarm as essentially a grapple, like an opposed check. So it'd be your... I think your athletics versus his athletics or acrobatics.
I don't like my chances, but I'll do it anyway. So he is going to flavor in the sense that he'll stand on his hand, try and get him to let go. That's a 17.
Yeah, so you managed to stomp on his hand and cause him to drop his rifle.
Won't be needing that now. I'll take that. And if he can't pick it up, he'll kick it away.
Okay. You can pick it up.
Yeah, sure. He'll pick it up.
All right.
And rest it over his shoulder, looking down at this guy.
All right. It is his turn. You and your ilk, you cannot change. But I think I will need more with me to deal with you. You, and he looks at you, Tibble. You're clearly the leader of this operation. I suggest you stand down, and I'm going to need you to roll me a wisdom saving throw as he casts suggestion.
That's a 7.
That's a 7. So you feel magically compelled to stand down. And as you do so, Officer Crow stands himself up. And he's going to start moving away. Fishman, you do get an attack opportunity if you so desire.
Okay, cool. So, how long does the spell go for?
8 hours.
Okay.
But it's concentration based, so...
Hit hard, Fishman. Hit hard.
So that is a 18 to hit.
18 certainly hits.
That is a 1. I'm not sure if Planar Warrior...
You get your Planar Warrior damage, I believe.
2 plus 5. And again, all non-lethal.
Natural 20 on the concentration check. Loren.
Just quickly,
Yes.
is that considered an aggressive act from where Neris is?
Actually, yeah, because Fishman's attack of opportunity.
I'd like to imagine they make a very loud bonk sound.
Yeah. Given it the name, yes, Naris, you hear it.
It's time for ups and nom-noms, okay? Oof.
So, yeah, Ham is on the roof.
I imagine where Neris has seen the tiny figure of the captain, maybe like 10 feet further back from that, like away from the edge of the roof, essentially. Almost like an elevator phasing up through the floor, but slightly quicker and much more aggressively. You see this tiny bullet just go, "Argh!" and that is now up there on the roof and is as hyped up, I would imagine, as when you tell a Labrador, we're going for walkies.
Yes, yeah. Fishman kind of, after his like sweep at the legs, will like kind of spin around and be absolutely petrified. And like almost freeze but point towards anywhere but himself at the fleeing sergeant.
Yeah, okay. Loren.
They certainly do seem to be having fun, Captain. Are we really sure we're the evil pirates when I'm pretty sure they're trying to execute that man? Do we keep being involved?
No.
Alright then. And Loren just kind of crosses her arms and keeps sipping on her drink. Although she will, once again for funsies, like as a little bonus action, just make the wind change, just for fun. So it's now once again kind of blasting, like, going back the other way. It's in Sniper Man's face.
Alright, Rue, is your go.
You should escape if you can, perhaps out one of those windows. And then Rue will follow Alton outside. And Rue kind of looks around and takes stock. So we've got one person running away on the roof or on the floor?
On the roof.
And is there someone on the ground level?
Only that you can see. Only the two pirates who are just standing around, Cerise and Loren.
If Rue could quirk an eyebrow, they would, in their direction. And then Rue turns and looks around.
There's also a large metal dog on the roof.
Yes, you notice that Ham is now up on the roof, somehow.
How did Ham get up there? And then Rue is going to, like, kind of look around, shrug, and then they're going to misty step up onto the roof with a little bit of temporary hesitation. And I rolled a 4, Darby.
Oh,
That's a 36. As they're misty stepping, like, magic starts crackling around them temporarily, which sort of just bounces around the cloud, the stream of, like, fog that's pouring off them, which seems just, like, billow off as they shoot up through the air and onto the roof.
You feel almost as if your joints begin to loosen up slightly, as if they were less ravaged by the sands of time. Almost as if you were 5 years younger.
Interesting. So Bruce suddenly looks a lot more polished and a lot more like sleek and a lot more dangerous as the blade sort of extends a little bit. And I just sort of look around and go, what's going on?
Next is Ham. Ham is an active combatant now.
Ham or Nom, the nearest person.
Okay. Roll to hit.
So that's a 12 to hit.
12 to hit. Okay. That misses, unfortunately.
Ham takes a big chunk out of the roof
Yeah.
and just inhales it. It is gone. There's this terrible grinding of multiple rows of serrated shark teeth, and it's gone.
That is Tibble's go. You have been commanded to stand down, but you can't re-engage.
That's fine. Because this silly idiot only told Tibble to stand down. Didn't tell him to ask his men to stand down. Following after this fellow who's fleeing, he's going to swing his Starseer Cutlass and swing down at the roof. He uses Commander's Strike using a superiority die. I think he's cast some sort of spell on me. I won't be attacking, but don't let him get away. Ham, time to eat.
Alright.
And Ham gets to make an attack, a strike. And if Ham succeeds, there's an additional 4 points of damage.
So that's a 15 all up.
Just misses, unfortunately.
Ham takes another bite out of the roof, excitedly. Some of the structure starts to shake.
Yeah, so Tibble will call out to this fleeing officer. He's going to try and persuade them again. I may be standing down, but I promise you, those under my command will not. I think you know the wise course of action here will be for us to have a kind conversation rather than a nasty one. And that would be a 19.
Not enough.
This person not being persuaded is to their own detriment.
Alright. Neris.
Neris can no longer see the man. There is no noise of sword combat, and the building is actively shaking. So Neris would like to exit said building, potentially attempt to encourage any others who are in the building to follow suit.
So you're trying to get them to evacuate, are you?
From the building whose roof is currently collapsing.
Yeah.
Yes. So he will do that and just sort of observe the surroundings. Does it look like there is anything happening? Does it look like there are reinforcements? Are there perhaps like a town guard? Are there onlookers? Are there people who may be sort of overseeing this whole thing? Or is it just this one man acting alone from what Neris can tell?
So roll me a perception check.
3.
3. You have no idea.
Please exit the building, avoid the weird cloud of mist, and please proceed to your nearest alternative tavern.
Yeah. Cerise?
Therese just turns to Loren. I do believe this might be the signal for an exit.
I was having such a fun conversation with him.
Place is about to be crawling with authorities when that roof caves in.
Well, either we can both skedaddle or you can skedaddle and a friend of yours could help out. And her eyes shift color for a second.
Up to you. And she shouts up to 𝗖𝗔𝗦𝗧. Always a pleasure. Fishman, I'll be seeing you around. And she misty steps. And starts running.
The pleasure is always mine, 𝗖𝗔𝗦𝗧. Another time.
And Fishman will say to that as well, I believe we've made a lasting impression.
All right.
He's still got his pistols in his hand. I'll kind of like start to raise them and just be like, Captain 𝗖𝗔𝗦𝗧, what's going on? Do you know who this person is? Are we shooting to kill?
Alton, I know you may not think much of me, lad, but I'm not stupid. Shoot to kill.
Aye, Captain. You will take shots with the pistols. Well, the first one I think misses. I got a 15.
15 misses, yeah.
So the next one, I'm going to expend a grip point to do a deadeye shot to get an... Yep, that's a 28 to hit.
Certainly hits.
That's 6 points of damage. And then I'll also fire a third shot with my bonus action. I again rolled a 15. So then he's just firing wildly, having a bit of trouble because it's so far away, and he is also like quite injured, very confused, very angry, but he's just going to keep firing. Miss again. That's a 13. And a 17. Does that hit?
17 does hit.
All right. That's 13 points of damage.
Like, those up on the roof can see, like, there are bullet holes in his back where it's managed to get between the armor. And that's everything you can do, Alton.
Alright, let's give this a go. Fishman is going to 𝗖𝗔𝗦𝗧 with a harpoon, please. He's going to make his way to the top of the roof, like where it peaks, and he'd like to take a shot, please, with a harpoon.
Why are we attacking? They are retreating. We have injured. This should be a priority, surely.
Orders. So that is a 11, which goes up to a 17 to hit.
17 does hit.
Excellent. So I'm just assuming this is just like regular damage. It merely does 5 piercing damage.
Yeah.
However, he is now harpooned. He basically can't get away from me. He has to do an opposed strength check.
It is his go. He is going to... Yeah, he's going to try to get away.
So, strength check. That's a 16.
Yeah, he is not able to free himself. Yeah, he can't do anything, so he's just gonna put his hands up in surrender.
That a boy.
And that's where we're gonna leave it for this episode.
Oh boy.
Hi.
See you next week.
Yeah. Do some of us need to talk through our problems, or like what the fuck happened there?
Yeah.
Jesus, we almost killed a man that was lying there prone. That gave me heart palpitations.